We're talking French Open here, the second week, and then also some Women's World Cup tips here, looking at futures, and also a few of the opening games here. Introducing the Whale Capper and the Rainmaker, EJ Gar. Excited to speak to the both of them. It's the first time I'm speaking with EJ here, so it's going to be a pleasure. Hello, guys. Welcome to the show. How's everyone doing?
Doing very well.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. What a busy week we have. And new guest, the Rainmaker, EJ Gar. How are you doing?
Hello. Thanks for having me. I'm shocked that you reached out and said, hey, we're going to have you on the show. Thank you. I'm here.
Yes, you are. So we've got obviously two parts to the show. The first, we're going to talk about French Open the second week. Then we'll move and we'll talk about Women's World Cup futures and some plays for some of the opening matches there. Whale Capper, obviously Osaka. What happened? She was a favorite. She was on fire and she's out.
That was not a competitive match. She got smoked.
I know.
And
once again, the women's outrights are wide open. EJ, what are you liking here? Because did you have any futures plays on the outrights for the women's side?
You know what? I'd like to discuss the four remaining matches. I mean, Vondrousova and Martic. Are you crazy? Rematch of Istanbul? Oh my God! I'm obviously shocked that Vondrousova. She's favored. Vondrousova. What is Vondrousova favored for? I can't believe that. Petra's going to win this match. I saw the plus 150 on Petra and said, obviously her back is fine. We all were concerned about her back when she went down for that time there. She's fine. If she says her back is fine, and she's playing tennis the way she is, well then I'm going to back her. That plus 150 line there is outrageous. I have to have it. That you have to have. I was shocked. Adam Silva today. That's gonna be a match too. Obviously Halep is going to be so tough to beat. She's so tough to beat. She's just so cerebral and just doesn't care. And that's tough to beat when you don't care. She's just going to bring her game. She's going to be pretty tough to beat. But that Madison Keys Barty match, that's going to be gorgeous. Those two are going to go at it. That first set's only 9.5. I don't know if you saw that first set. Total's 9.5 at even money. Thank you. But thank you. That's certainly going to be a 6-4 first set. I think Madison's going to find a way to get past Barty. Another underdog at plus 150. Give me the underdogs with the remaining 8 matches here, except for the Halep match. I'm not going against Simona. But, and Joanna, too, I suppose you're into the whole Konta Sloane Stephens match being the whole Brit thing. That's going to be a match, too, between the USA and a Brit. Oh, baby.
Whale Capper, do you agree there? Is it time to back the underdogs here? So you've got Matric at 2.4 here, Martic at 2.4. I agree not to go against Simona Halep. That's definitely a great call. No. But on the women's side here, are you liking the underdogs?
I like. I'm a little lukewarm on Martic. I like that. My favorite look on that match is over 2.5 sets. That has 3 sets written all over it to me. I think the players know each other's games well enough. The stakes are high enough that I think you're going to see that one in the decider. I slight lean Vondrousova. But I don't think that I don't love the price at all, and I don't fault anyone for taking a swing at Martic at that dog price. I also fancy Keys. I like that look. I think Keys is going to give Barty her hands. She's going to test her significantly here. Barty's been playing amazing. She's having a great year. She's racking up some pretty impressive accomplishments. But I think Keys has the slam pedigree. She brings her best in these slam matches, and I think this should be an evenly lined match. And so if you're going to give me a dog price on Keys, I'm in. I think Halep coasts to the finals, and I like Sloane Stephens. I'm not getting involved in Konta at this point. Like, she's impressed. Before this tournament, she had never won a match at Roland Garros. So to get to this point is an amazing accomplishment. I give her, we'll give her the golf clap. Well done. But it ends here. Sloane Stephens, your last year's finalist. She's going to give Halep a test in the final again this year. But I'm holding the Halep ticket from the Australian Open. When Halep proved at the Australian Open that she could compete without Cahill in her corner, it was kind of a good sign that she was going to be the rightful favorite to repeat here. And to this point, I have loved her mentality. I loved the way that she, put her foot down when she wanted to, save some of her gas for later rounds. She's been able to kind of really, show another level. And I think Halep is still the rightful favorite to win the whole thing. But I think it's going to be Halep and Stevens in the final. And I think it's going to be damn tight.
There you go, laying the cards down on the table. So EJ, what do you have the price for? I wasn't able to find the price for this Simona Halep versus Anish Manova game. Do you have the odds for that one?
Those lines are just coming out because those matches are just coming to a conclusion now. I saw Simona at -500, pretty big. Obviously, that handicap will be in the 4 or 5 range too. There's no value there. I mean, you can't +500 anything over -150, -200. You start reaching into the what's the value? And there's no value in Simona at -500. You can't touch that. Really, we didn't mention Madison getting her old coach back too. Having Tadero back is so big for her, man. She went into Charlotte and took another clay tournament, and that was big. I like what Madison's doing right now too. And we didn't even talk about that contest. What contest Stevens are about going to go 2.5 sets to? Do you see that plus 125? For the over 2.5 sets, man, that's a 3-set. Don't give me that face, man. Come on.
If there was something about the way Stevens kind of clicked into gear during that Muguruza match that I'm thinking she's straight sets in the quarters, straight sets in the semis. She's very clear and transparent with how she's feeling and how the tournament is impacting her, and the joy with which she's doing her press, which she's doing her social media, really tells me that Sloane is in a really positive mental place. And granted, Konta, I don't know where this clay level has come from. I didn't know that she had this game in her toolbox, but it should give her some confidence heading into grass season. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I've just got Alex there from Need for Tips is coming in there saying Anish Manova plus 5.5 at 1.72. And actually, as you just said there, EJ, the odds did just come out. Simona Halep 1.23 and Anish Manova is 4.9 there. What's your official play on that match, EJ?
For me?
Yes.
You got to take the under. I mean, you can talk about 19, 20 games again. No. Simona's playing too well. I love what the American's doing. Obviously, she looks phenomenal. She's cruising. But no, you can't fade Simona right now. If Simona's going to be -4, -5, somewhere in there, you got to take her. You just have to take her.
Okay, yeah. What about you, Will Kappa?
I'm staying off that one pre-match. I'm going to watch and see see what Anisimova's game looks like at the beginning. I could see a scenario where she comes out the more aggressive player, takes a break or something early, and then Halep kind of lets her wear herself out a little bit. She sees her best shots, and then Halep puts on the gas. And, you could see a tight first set, so maybe over in the first set and then under in the second set. Maybe look for a live opportunity to grab Simona if it looks like it's a competitive match, because the longer the match goes, I think the more Halep is going to kind of build into some steam, and she'll probably, put whatever the final, if it's a 2-set match or, by some weird coincidence it's a 3-set match, I think the final set will be something like 6-0, 6-2 Halep or something like that.
All right, so both of you agreeing that you're going to wait possibly some in-play opportunities on the Simona Halep match. What are your favourite plays on the WTA side, EJ, for on the WTA side?
On the women's side, like I mentioned, I think that Konta and Stevens are going to play 2.5 sets, man. You can doubt me all you want. I'm telling you, those two are going to play. I like that over 22 as well, because of the fact that they're going to go 3 sets. That over 22 looks reasonable. We might even see a tiebreak, a 7-6, 6-4. There's our 23. I can see that happening. I don't think those two are going to break each other all that much. Like I said, I like Petra. I think Petra's going to find a way to move on, and Madison's going to find a way to move on. And both of them with the value of 2.4 and 2.5. Thank you. I'm thinking, dog. We'll see what happens. That's my women's thing. You want to move to the men's side? I'm more than ready for that. Oh, baby.
I will. We're moving to the men's. Just your official plays, Will, for the women's side.
Yeah, over 2.5 sets in the Martic match for me is my favorite by far. I've got a little bit of like a half unit on keys to advance, and I'm going to be looking for opportunities to back Stevens and Halep live in both of those two. So nothing pre-match for those on me.
Okay, all right. Moving over to the men inside here. EJ, can't wait for this one. We've got some big matches here. Stan Wawrinka, Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, Alex Zverev. Two massive matches. What are you liking on the men's side, EJ?
Man, all right. Did you see it? Hey, Whale Capper. Did you see the +10 on Nishikori? +10? Excuse me? Listen, man. All that dude wants to do is make you run. If you see 2 straight shots to someone's backhand, Nishikori's going the other way. He mixes it up better than anyone you know. He may not be big in stature. He may not have the 125-mile-an-hour serve. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it, man. I think he's going to challenge Nadal all day. I took the +11 against Nadal last time he was out there. I got that rather fine, even in straight sets. Even if Nadal does go on and win 6-4, 6-3, 6-4, guess what, man? Cash in my ticket. Nishikori is going to give him more of a battle than I think we expect. Because Nishikori makes you run. And what's the last thing that Nadal wants to do is run on those knees, man. So I think Nishikori is going to challenge him a lot more than the line setters expected. +10? I'm all over Nishikori at +10. All over it. I'll start there and let you go.
Wales thinking about it. Well, are you as confident as our Rainmaker is here?
I like the look. Your points are valid. I especially would be interested in that if the weather is what it holds and it's going to be a little cooler and a little bit wetter. Whenever it comes to handicapping a Nadal match at Roland Garros, the first thing you need to look at is what time is the match and what is the weather going to be like. Because if it's dry, if it's warm, if it's during the day, don't bet against Nadal. Do not do it. But if it's cooler, if it's wetter, and if he's not getting because so much of his effectiveness there is coming off the spin. Philippe Chatrier court is an unpredictable bouncing court, and if you combine that with what he's doing with the forespin that he, top spin that he gets on these balls, it's incredible. And so, if it's a little wetter, if it's a little cooler, then the dog is always a little alive against Nadal, at least because the bookmakers price Nadal pretty, prohibitively expensive in every match in the French Open. And so, if the conditions play to the dog, then there would be value. My issue, though, with Nishikori, I don't know that he finishes the match. It's no skin off your back to take the handicap because if he retires at some point, it's void. But I could see a scenario play out because he just came off this, mammoth, a marathon 2-day 5-setter against Pair. He's played more tennis than you would have liked to have seen from him in his last 2 rounds here. And I could see a situation where he wears down and, you see something like 6-3, 3-0 retirement, something like that could happen. But if he makes it through the full 3 sets, I do like the chances that you see 6-4, 6-3, 6-2, something along those lines where he covers the 11, because that is just a silly lot of game handicap to be asking Nadal to cover, especially if the conditions aren't in his favor.
I agree.
2 opinions on that match. Well, have you got an official play?
I'm going to stay away from that one until we see a little bit more convincingly what the weather looks like tomorrow. I'm actually not sure they're going to get much tennis in tomorrow. It looks like it could be a nasty day. But hey, that lends itself in the same way to a Nishikori play as well, because give him an extra day's rest, and that makes him a little bit more alive of a dog. But whenever it comes down to a Nadal match, the weather is so important that I tend to kind of wait until a little closer before getting involved, if at all.
All right. So EJ, you are very confident about that play. Wales come in and thrown his thoughts in. How are you sitting right now?
I don't mind that. I can understand his point too. But and the humidity with Nadal and those knees, man, that's certainly something you have to get. I'd love to see them get a day off. If you're going to give me that day off on top of it, obviously with the whole pair thing, that was quite a match, man. Man, they talked about Paris composure and all that. He didn't look composed at all. He was a mess, man. I love that those commentators. He looked so composed out there. He doesn't even look like he gets rattled. You must not have watched that match. Pierre was a mental mess. He was all over. But man, can we talk? Let's talk about Stan and Roger too, man. That is going to be a war. We know they know each other so well. Obviously, Roger has been beating him down for entirely too long. 11 of the last 12, 7 in a row. Okay. We know Roger's Roger. We know Stan. Man, Stan's going to give him. Did you see that return that they did after like a 13-shot point, 101 mile an hour shot down the side that just got, man, him and that Greek, that was a match, man. Tsitsipas to have, and he wanted Federer because obviously when Federer bounced from Rome, Tsitsipas was on deck to get Federer, and he was like, oh, I want to get Federer again. And obviously it's going to be Stan and Roger. These two know each other so well, man. I like that over 39. The 3-set line is over minus 180. No, I'm not taking the minus 180, but if you're going to tell me there's going to be 4 sets here and that total sitting at 39, I'm all over it, man. I think Stan is more than ready to take Roger on. We all know what Roger can do. I'm well capper. We all know who he is and what he can do. But I'm taking Stan. I hang out with him, man. I like that total. I think the first set total, too. First set total and the game total are both coming in for those two, man. I love that match.
All right. Well, Kappa, and we've got to speak. We've got about 10 minutes left, and we've got Women's World Cup, and there's a ton of people that's really excited about it and waiting. So, which is interesting.
Okay, I'll be quick. Yeah, so I agree 100%. Stan versus Stefanos Tsitsipas was the match of the year so far. That was so incredible to watch. 5 hours. But Stan is a machine. He's an animal. He can absolutely take it. He will come back and fight for sure against Federer here. Federer does have the better of the head-to-head, but it's been a long time since these two faced on clay, and clearly Federer's game is not optimal for clay. I think Stan is a live dog in this one. The problem is what we've seen with Federer and the way he approaches these Grand Slam matches. He likes to come out fast. He likes to come out and try to dictate pace, dictate service, and gets quick service holds in the first sets of these matches. So I'm against the Rainmaker here on the first set. I think it's going to go under. And I think Stan is going to kind of let Roger start to spin his wheels a little bit, and he's going to wait and try to build into this match and make it go the distance. I like the look on the game's over overall because I do think I see a 4 or 5 setter here. And sort of in the same way that we talked about with some of the longer this goes, the deeper they get, the needle swings from Federer to Stan in terms of who has the higher likelihood of winning this match. If this is a 4 or 5 set match, I like Stan a lot. But it's all going to come down to kind of how the second set goes, how the third set goes. So it's going to be a match to watch pretty carefully for in-play opportunities. If Federer wins the first set, the price on Stan to win the match is going to be ridiculous. You're going to have to grab some of that, put some of that in your pocket. We've seen Stan play some amazing tiebreak tennis to this point in this tournament and in this year. And I think if we get to a tiebreak, and we probably will see at least one tiebreak in this one, then that favors Stan as well. So I'm pretty high on Wawrinka punching his ticket into the quarterfinals here. I know everyone wants to see Rafa play Fed, and Federer has played better than people expected on clay to this point. But Wawrinka is a 5-set master. He's going to figure out a way to make this go deep. And the further this goes, the more it favors him. So give me a little bit of the dog price on this one. And let's get a little upset between the Swiss.
Nice. Very nice indeed. All right, wrapping up here for the men's. Do you want to just run us through your men's plays here, World Cup?
Sure. So I like Zverev to test Djokovic as well. I like the over in that one. I like the sets over in that one. I like Stan on the money line. I like Stan on the handicap. I like the game's over in that match, and then I'm going to wait for in-play opportunities otherwise. We don't know for sure, I guess, who Dominic Thiem is playing, but his form today against Monfils was incredible. He is now back as a contender in this tournament. And, maybe I'm being hopeful that Zverev will take some of the legs out of Djokovic before Thiem gets a shot at him. But we are really stacking up for one of the more epic ends of the slams here between, the way that the power players are all kind of positioning themselves for this, final week. This is going to be incredible. I'm super excited.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Me too. EJ, same question to you. Recap through your men's plays, please.
Yeah, Nishikori in the +10 handicap for me, and like we just mentioned with Stan, I think Stan and Roger are going to be playing tennis deep into that French nightmare. So yeah, I think that over is. But yeah, I cross your fingers, no doubt, man. That's going to be a great match. So those two, obviously, the history between the two of them is just worth the price of admission to watch those two go at it in a French Open and a major. You know what I mean? It's been, like you said, 4 years since they met here. It's going to be nice to see these two go at it again. Now, obviously, the big hug is going to be there at the end, but they still want to kill each other. Make no mistake.
All right, great stuff. That wraps up their French Open second week coverage there.